Back again, guys. I'm going to be reviewing Darkness Falls. The movie came out in, I think, 2002. Funny story. Funny story. I went to go and see this with my older sister. She's a year older than me. Um, the main reason why I remember it was because I found the movie very scary. Growing up, I wasn't really one for scary movies. So I went and saw this with my older sister, and I'm sitting there. She was enjoying the movie. I'm looking around the theater, looking behind us. Um, you know how you freak yourself out, and you'll think that you like hear something. You're looking around. So yeah, it was one of the scariest theater experiences I've ever had. Just the entire movie, I was just looking around, hoping Matilda Dixon wasn't there. It was just something else. The movie starts out. It's telling the I guess antagonist of the movie's story. So this lady, um, she was really good with the children in her town. And one day, a couple of the children like came up missing. I guess because she didn't have kids of her own, and she's kind of hanging around with these kids. I guess they thought she was like a weirdo or whatever, and they ended up killing her, and she cursed the town. Um, and the curse, is one of those things that always kind of sticks with you. The curse is what I took before in kindness, I'll take forever in revenge. And yeah, it's kind of scary. Um, where do I start? So with the actors, I've never really seen any of the actors before the main protagonist. Kind of reminds me of Ryan Reynolds, and the female lead. She, you know, I don't want to. They look almost like B movie versions of Ryan Reynolds and Rachel McAdams. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the Rachel McAdams look-alike, she has a boyfriend, and the guy actually looks a lot like the guy that plays Loki. So yeah, it's like all these people that look like MCU actors, but it was the early 2000s. I found it kind of interesting, and I'm pretty sure. So the lady looks like Rachel McAdams. She has a younger brother, and the brother is the only person that I've recognized from anything, any other movie, and he's the little boy from The Ring. Well, actually, I'm lying. Uh, there's a guy that later on in the movie he attacks uh, the antagonist of the movie, and he what 10 years later goes on to be one of the guys that helps the lady in Sinister. He helps the older lady in Sinister. Um, so yeah, and he's a real piece of crap in this movie. But this movie has one of the best opening scary scenes that I can think of. Um, at first, this young man, he's talking to his girlfriend. They're gonna go to prom or some kind of dance. Not yeah, I'm sorry, it's some kind of dance. It's not the prom. Sorry about that. Uh, and she he has his tooth on this like nightstand or like away from his like pillow, and his little girlfriend takes his tooth and puts it under his pillow. So if she hadn't have done that, he probably would have been able to live like a normal life. But because she does that, it changes his life dramatically. So as opposed to the tooth fairy like just coming and like taking his tooth off the nightstand, she I guess because she's it's not like easy it's not like easy access for her to get it. She's like going around the room like making noise and shit, maybe even like warning him because we always think a bad guy is just out to like kill and stuff like that. She might have just wanted to take his tooth and then just leave, but he and I'm not saying it's his fault. He's a kid or whatever, and he had nothing to do with like the past events. So, but anyway, so but just that tooth just happened to be under his pillow, which sucks. Anyway, so he hears her making her way around his room, and he takes a flashlight and he shines it on her face. This pisses her off. She already sounds like kind of pissed off anyway. She's like the the tooth fairy. She's always kind of like wailing all like every time they like show her. It makes it scarier, but it kind of makes you like wonder why. Like, is she still in like pain from like what they like physical pain, or is it just like emotional pain from what they did to her? I don't know. Uh, but yeah, so he runs out of his room and he has his flashlight, and his mom hears like all the noise that they're making, and she goes to check in on her son. She goes to check in on her son. He meets her in the hallway right next to the bathroom. That he eventually goes inside, but she, um, she wants to like reassure her son that everything's okay. I guess it's like his imagination, or it's what she's thinking. And this boy, he looks like he's about anywhere from like 11 or 12. I'm not exactly sure how old he's supposed to be. Pretty sure it doesn't say. But he lets his mom walk into this room with some flying, uh, wailing. I mean, I'm not sure what he thinks it is, but ghost or whatever. And his mom goes in the room, and Tooth Fairy like breaks her neck, scares the crap out of him, and he runs inside the bathroom, closes the door, and like falls inside the shower. And man, like it's one of those things that kind of like stick with you in movies. The Tooth Fairy, she goes like above the door, and I guess she like pushes the door open, and the boy, he wants to like look and see like what's happening, so he like scoots over, and really like pushes himself to just want to see like what's happening, what's going on. And like the Tooth Fairy is like above the door, outside the door, above the door, because she can't get in the light, and she's just kind of like waiting for him. uh, yeah, it's pretty scary. um, then after that, it's morning time. The police come. I guess the whole town like believes that this young man like broke his mom's neck, and I think she had like some real bad like scars on her face. Uh, and yeah, I just can't believe he let his mom do that, man. So now fast forward, I think maybe like 13 years, 15 years. Uh, the kid from the beginning of the movie, he's grown now. He's a grown up now, and he's living in like Vegas. the young lady that came to his room that they were supposed to go to this dance together, she calls him and she's like checking in on him and letting him know that her brother is going to through like a similar thing as he did. So she asks him, "Oh, did you get over it?" And then they show inside of his apartment, and let's just say he didn't get over it. I mean, who could? You know what I mean? And I'm assuming the monster is still after him because of like where he lives and how he has his house set up and everything. He has all these flashlights, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like still after him. So he doesn't have a choice, unless I guess one day he just gets fed up and like wants to die. Um, so he goes back to the town. He meets up with the woman, with a fully grown friend of his, and she kind of like leaves him on his own, even though from what we like later find out, like the people in the town, they have some pretty like harsh feelings about him. Uh, so he leaves with her boyfriend. I'm not. I mean, I guess she didn't want to leave her brother alone. They meet in this hospital where her brother is getting looked at, and the boyfriend, he's kind of like insisting that they go and have like some drinks together, and you can kind of tell that the guy just doesn't really want to go, and she doesn't like tell the boyfriend, "Hey, he's here for my son," you know. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't come there like to hang out. He's going to, you know, see if he could possibly help out with her brother. Anyway, so I mean, and I don't know. Anyway, so he goes to this bar with her boyfriend, and I guess they were friends, and now he's the boyfriend that looks like Loki. He's like dating her, and I guess he feels like the main protagonist is like, coming there to like rekindle their childhood love. And they go and have a couple of drinks at a bar. Well, they go to have a couple of drinks at a bar, and the town's one of the people from the town, like the guy that goes on to be in the movie Sinister, he goes and takes them outside, and well, while they're inside, he throws a beer on them, and then he follows them outside, and like tackles them, and they go like falling off this like back porch, rolling into like the forest, and it's like, could you imagine being this guy? It's like he's there to try to like help this, you know, young man, and townspeople are like trying to beat him up. Either way, the Tooth Fairy is like, one step behind him and waiting for him to, turn out the lights or whatever so she can, kill him. And he's going through all this, and then he just has this random butthead, you know, embarrassing him in front of everyone, and on top of that, beating him up once they get outside. It's pretty crazy. Poor guy, man. But anyway, so the creature ends up getting that dude, and it just kind of goes to show she's like always right there waiting. And yeah, anytime basically they like get in the, I mean, for the rest of the movie, like anytime they're like in the dark, this creature like comes after them, and like, it kind of almost makes you like, the person watching like a little fearful of the dark, you know. Anyway, it kind of wraps up with they go to like this lighthouse, and in the lighthouse, uh, they like set this fire, and it's like not enough to stop the Tooth Fairy, and eventually they turn the actual like light for the lighthouse on, and between that and the Ryan Reynolds looking guy punching the lady, they're able to stop the Tooth Fairy. And when she is like stopped, like all these like there's this big bright light, and I guess she's like incinerated, or I don't know if it's some kind of like internal combustion, or what do they call that when someone like, I guess they have like too much like gas or like acid inside of them, and then they just like burn up, or like something about combustion. I forgot exactly what it is. Anyway, so he like gets her in the light and gives her like a right hook, knocks her out, and then she just burns up, and like her mask falls, and there's like all these teeth in it. It was a good movie. I would like to have seen like a second one. You know, some movies, they get like, sequels, but like this movie, I would love to have seen a sequel, and I don't think it did that bad at the box office. Well, let me check out how well it did at the box office. Oh, I'm sorry, it was in 2003, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 9%. Metacritic gave it 23. IMDb gave it 4.9 out of 10. 81% of people that watched it liked it. You know. Um, anyway, it's box office. So box office. Wow, so it made $47 million, almost $50 million. Yeah, on a $11 million budget. I would. I mean, sounds good to me. I'm surprised they didn't make a second one. They should have. And at the same time, it has like a spiritual um, sequel, and I'm gonna review that. It's called Lights Out, and it's a better movie, to be honest. Anyway, I do this try to make friends, see if I could work with some people that are interested in making scary movies. I'm working on two right now. Um, I'd like help, or even to jump on like anyone else's project. What else? And yeah, thanks guys. I look forward to any questions or comments you have in the comment section. See you later. Bye.